Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel for what is going to be a hits and misses of 2015. I was thinking of putting together a favorites video of all the products I've been loving in 2015, but as I was really narrowing it down, I mean like being super picky, I realized that I didn't have a product for every category, like eyeshadow, eye primer. There have been so many greats this year, but because I test so many things, it's not really like I've been coming back to one particular product in every category. So I've narrowed it down to the products that are like my main squeeze, and I know will continue to be my main squeeze, and products that I keep coming back to in between those testing periods. Those are the hits that I'm going to mention in this video. Then as I was going my collection, kind of doing the year-end clean out, getting rid of old stuff, admitting to myself that there are some products that I am just never going to use or get through, and so better to give them away now when they're still good to someone. So I was doing that, and as I was doing so, I was coming across some products that I thought, oh, of course I'm not going to keep this. And I thought, you know, some of these I've never talked about on the channel, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do like the best of the best and then kind of the worst of the worst, because we all kind of like those videos. We all like to know what to stay away from. So you're gonna get the scoop on everything. Let's go ahead and jump in. Let's start with the best and then we'll get to the worst. Start on a high note, right? First thing is foundation, and if you watched me for a while, this will come as no surprise to you. I'm wearing it right now. It is Makeup Forever's Ultra HD Stick Foundation. A couple months back, Makeup Forever reformulated their liquid HD foundation, the one that like the YouTube beauty community loves. They also came out with a stick version of the Ultra HD, the newly reformulated Ultra HD foundation, and the liquid still doesn't work supremely well for me. I have combination skin and just found that it kind of sits on top of my skin rather than sinking in and like working the magic that everybody else thinks it does for their skin. This, on the other hand, is pure magic. It's so lightweight but so buildable. You can get completely full coverage with very minimal product, and yet here I am. This is all I have left of this guy. I've nearly powered through an entire stick, and I will certainly be just repurchasing because it's like amazing. For reference, I am shade 120 in the old Makeup Forever system and Y245 in the new system. I think they have a little conversion thing here at the bottom of the product. So that is what I am, in case you are wondering. I just can't say enough good things about this foundation. I've raved about it. It's been in multiple favorites videos, and it's finally getting a little bit of attention. Nikki Tutorials here on YouTube started using it probably about a month back, and when I saw it, I was like, finally it's getting the attention it deserves. It is such an amazing foundation. I think for any skin type, it's not, there are a lot of stick foundations out there that are too heavy, they're too drying, they're too cakey, and this is just none of those things. And because it's not a liquid, you don't have to worry about spillage, breakage. It's great for travel. It's just your best foundation friend. Now let's talk primer. I know a lot of you will see this coming, but I'm still going to talk about it anyway. Plus I have kind of a fun little tip for you guys that I really couldn't fit in any other video, so I thought I'd give it to you here. But primers. The Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Mattifying Primer is the bomb. I haven't really been into primers. Most of them are very silicone based. They leave your skin feeling very smooth and soft, pore filling, line filling, that kind of deal. Those make me feel like my makeup is going to slide off my face, and then it does. It really doesn't help me and my combination skin prime the way that I would hope a primer should. So pretty much up until I got this guy, wouldn't use a primer ever, and had been, kind of happy as a clam. It is what it is. Have to use like a mattifying powder during the day, or touch up, or find some way to kind of eliminate excess shine, as my makeup might break down during the super hot days. But beyond that, I would just look for foundations that would kind of stand up to what my skin and the elements threw at it without a primer. No more with this guy. This mattifying primer I apply, and more so in the warmer months. Like I really haven't been using it here in the winter, but warmer months in Texas, let's be honest, that's like most of them. I've been applying it under my makeup in my T-zone, and it has it's a very smooth, kind of cools the skin, soaks in immediately though, so you don't feel like it's sitting on top of your skin, giving it that super slick feel. And then when you apply your makeup over it, it gives that mattifying finish, and then it keeps it matte throughout the day. Then, and I've mentioned this before in previous videos, I will use this if I do find that I have excess shine. I will go in with a tiny little dab on my finger and blot the areas of my skin that are experiencing that shine. And I'll show you a demo here because a few of you had questions. You're like, but doesn't that disturb your makeup? Isn't it gonna rub the makeup off underneath? I think the key there is that you have to pat, because then you won't like displace and move and get your foundation all streaky or even setting powder. I put this over everything that I want mattified, which brings me to my next tip. I was given the idea, somebody asked if I was gonna do a review of the new Smashbox lip mattifier, and I think there are a couple of other brands that have very similar products out where it's like a gel or a cream that you put over any lip product supposedly. I'm assuming there are some limitations from my limited knowledge of it, but basically it turns your lip products matte. It's a creamy gel type texture, you apply it over top, you get a matte lip. Well, I was about to hit order on that guy, but then I thought, I wonder if I could use this over top. So today on my lips, I am actually wearing a lipstick that it's this YSL Rouge Pure Couture in the shade 09. I forget what the actual but basically it has kind of a balmier, like a balmy lipstick finish. I apply this over top and you get the matte finish you see here, and it's totally transfer proof, like nothing is coming off here, so it really helps extend the life of your lipstick. It certainly is effective in varying degrees with other kinds of lip products, like don't go trying it with a gloss, and some, like I was trying it with the CoverGirl, let me pull it out here, this guy, the vitamin infused balm. It's not really effective with this. I would go for the more opaque true lipsticks to really get maximum efficacy from this guy, but I was just like, the benefits don't end. I think it is totally worth the money and totally recommend this to anyone who has the same kind of problems with primers as I do, where the smoothing and pore filling primers, not for me. I need something that keeps me matte and keeps my makeup on. This is your guy. Next up is a highlighter, and I promise this is the last kind of splurge product, guys. I do have a few more budget-friendly items coming up, but this had to be included, and you will probably recognize it from a lot of other beauty favorites that have been going out lately, rightfully so. It's a BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. I do prefer the powder version of these, and my pick is in the shade Opal. Keep in mind, I have not tried Champagne Pop though. I tried to be so good this year about not buying limited edition shades or products or sets or anything like that, because they have such a short shelf life here on the channel. I can only talk about them for so long before you guys can't get them anymore, and so I just have been trying to buy more evergreen or permanent items like that. So I have not gotten Jaclyn Hill's shade, but these favorites videos are really testing my willpower. Just looks so beautiful. Opal is just warm enough without being super warm. It's not super pigmented. There is kind of a even more pinky shade that BECCA has, and this just kind of hits the sweet spot with being a warm toned highlighter, so it looks very natural and lit from within. Well, I say natural. The other great thing about this and why I love it so much is because the powder is so finely milled that you really can either wear it very, very lightly for more of a natural look, or you can layer it up and it doesn't get disco bally on your skin. It just sits there and looks like, oh my god, can you see that? It's just like drool. So good. I mean, it's not like drool. I'm drooling over it. This is highlighter, obviously. But basically, I think what does it for me is not only the shade, but just how finely milled they are. They go on so effortlessly. They're so buildable, and they can look anywhere from ultra natural to ultra not. You know me, I prefer ultra not, but it's all up to you. I highly, highly recommend BECCA's Shimmering Skin Perfector. Next up is mascara. It's a little bit easier on the wallet than my previous picks. This is CoverGirl's The Supersizer Mascara. I reviewed this a few months back. Really, really loved it. It had been kind of at my side the whole time, and then as new mascaras came into my life that I wanted to try, I kind of lost track of it, put it away somewhere as I was, and then once it was out of sight, it was out of mind, and I was just like, not happy with my lashes. Then as I was kind of going through my stash and doing the purge, I pulled this out and I was like, didn't I really love this mascara? Sure enough, put it on and it is just like a whole new world on my lashes. This wand looks very weird when you see it. It's rubberized, but the lashes are the bristles are very short and stubby, and for some reason I think that's why they help grip onto my lashes. They really coat it with product, but there's something about it that just keeps my lashes from getting clumpy. So they get very thick, which is actually, I think, a turnoff for some people. This is not everyone's favorite mascara, obviously, but for me personally, it gave me the perfect balance of length and volume. I don't tend to worry about curling too much, but it does actually hold its shape throughout the day as well, which is a bonus if you yourself are interested in a mascara that really helps curl and keep things curled. But mostly this is just the magical meeting point between volume and length. And last up is a product that kind of eked in here at the end. You'll know because I recently mentioned it in my December favorites video, but had been using it for about a month before that. It's the Naked Skin Gradual Glow Daily Tan Moisturizer, and I just have been in love with this. If you are a self-tanner and actually relatively fair, although it might not, I am actually very fair and very neutral toned, so sometimes self-tanners can come off as being very orange. I do prefer something that's relatively, you know, I don't have to wait for it to dry. I do prefer lotions, but Jergens just doesn't really last that long on me. It has kind of that strong scent. It doesn't sink into my skin as quickly as like some other regular lotions do. This solves all those problems. It is scentless, it is colorless, it is, it sinks into your skin so fast, and it is so deeply tanning. Not unnaturally, obviously. It just gives you a really nice, beautiful bronze glow, and they actually recommend it as a primer for their other kind of more heavy-duty tanners, which I don't think I would try. But I really love the effect this gives, and it's so long-lasting. It wears off really nice and evenly, and yeah, I feel like I shouldn't talk anymore about it because I have been, it was in my recent favorites video, but it's just so good, and it's $14, I think, maybe even less than that for this big huge bottle that I'm not even through yet, and I've been using it at least once a week for the past 2 months. Whole body, so good. Now on to the fails. Well, both of these are actually products that I've talked about here before on the channel. Most recently in the world's most depressing dupe or dud, because yes, they are dupes for each other, however, they are just duds, period. They are the Hourglass Modernist eyeshadow palettes in color field. I tried 2 of these. One, I forget what the other one was, but basically this was the better one of the 2, and it still wasn't that great, and given like what, the $58 price tag and the size of the shadows, it was just a major letdown. Then ULTA came out with these palettes that look sneakily similar. The one, they actually don't have names, but basically they're trying super hard to dupe these exactly. So here's the one for the Hourglass that I just mentioned, and then there's a purple version, and then it's actually a dupe for the other eyeshadow palette I got and returned because it was so bad. And basically my conclusion is that these aren't that great either. I really wouldn't waste your money on these over the Hourglass simply because the quality's not that great, and for the most part, a lot of these are shades you could find, like pick and choose from individual shadow. Like if there's one shade or 2 shades in particular, I recommend going to somewhere like Makeup Geek or Coastal Scents or Anastasia Beverly Hills, picking a single shadow and putting it in a Z palette or something, because there's nothing about these palettes that makes them so extraordinary that you need to have it. Some more eyeshadow fails. Actually, I never talked about these in a video. I was so unenthused when I tried them that I was like more interested in making a video about something else that was way better that I just never got around to talking about these on the channel. They are the Maybelline Color Molten. They're just called Color Molten, but they're eyeshadow duos, and I was very excited when I first tried them because they have the texture, it's like they were trying to be ColourPop. They have this kind of moussey, very soft, kind of cushiony texture, but the color payoff is just kind of miserable. Just not my favorite, not buildable. Maybe it's the duos I got, but I got some with kind of like pops, like this teal I was very excited about, and then I got kind of a traditional smoky duo, and they just did not do anything for me, and they really didn't last that long. I mean, you really had to layer them up with a primer, even then they kind of creased on me. I was just very unimpressed with these, and so, you know, kind of good riddance. Maybelline has some amazing, their quads are great. These just kind of missed the mark for me though. And last from Almay are these guys, which I actually did talk about in a video. It was an ULTA haul, I believe. These are the Almay Intense Eye Color Powder Shadows. This one is in Everyday Neutrals, and this one is in Evening Smoky, and I got them because, although the packaging is weird and new, the inside, the shape of these shadows kind of duplicates their old shadow packaging packaging, but it was actually in more of a traditional kind of compact shape. But I love those shadows. Those were some like undiscovered drugstore gems for me. So I got these thinking that those were going out, which I do think they just ultimately ended up discontinuing them. And these are here to stay. And these just, I don't know if they reformulated, they changed something, because these were total duds for me. The color payoff was just disappointing. The lasting power was lackluster. It was just, woo, good riddance, whatever. But yeah, they just didn't do a whole lot. I didn't love them as much as I loved the others. They just weren't a replacement for that. So I do think that I might put these out to the big beauty pasture in the sky. They just aren't for me anymore. Next up is another product that I didn't get around to talking about here on the channel because I was just so unimpressed with it. It's from the brand 2B, which I think is exclusive to Ulta, maybe even online. I have never personally seen it in a store, but it's the Mousse Foundation. Mine is in the shade 04. Ivory? I think it's ivory. 04 either way. And it says it's water resistant. And at the time there, the CoverGirl Mousse Foundation had just gone out. I think CoverGirl or Revlon's, they had a really great mousse foundation. And so I was kind of on a mousse foundation kick. And this is just awful. It doesn't sink into the skin at all. I mean, it doesn't really blend into the skin at all. Sits on top, takes brush strokes and just like amplifies them. It's just not good, and it's not very comfortable either. It was kind of drying, and this just could do nothing right for me. It was not right for my skin, and so I just never got around to talking it or using it much after the first time because it was just so meh. So I do think there are some other better mousse foundations out there, and this just isn't one of them. And they have some mousse blushes that I have and actually really like. Just for some reason, it does not work as a foundation formula. Nearing the end here, let's end with some higher end products. First up actually is the BECCA Undereye Brightening Corrector. This kind of had people split. Some people loved it, some people did not love it. I am in the did not love it camp. Emily Noel, I think in her review of this, put it best. It's like this, it looks pink in the pan, so you'd think it'd be great at canceling out under eye discoloration, but it has a shimmery finish. So it actually just highlights any sort of unevenness you have under there, and no amount of like covering with foundation or additional concealer could really correct what this corrector kind of undid, if that makes any sense. I don't know, and it just wasn't, for the price, this should kind of be perfection, just like the highlighter was. Kind of odd that I have, a hit and a miss from one brand, but this was definitely a miss. However, their normal concealer, like they do just have a range of concealers, I really was loving that for a solid portion of the year. Wasn't holy grail like best of the whole year sort of situation for me, but it is really good. I really like it, just not this guy. And last up are more products that I have never mentioned before, but felt the need to tell you about them here just so you know to avoid them, are from the brand Vincent Longo. I actually cashed in some Ipsy points for these because I don't have a whole lot of experience with this brand, and it's not a cheap brand. These retail for 25 bucks a piece, and they are the gel eye stain. It's called Starlet Gel Eye Stain, which when I saw on the Ipsy site to cash in your points for, I was so intrigued by. And basically it is an automatic pen applicator. You have your little foam applicator up top, you twist it up, product is dispensed out, and then you can apply it directly to your eye. The issue with this is, despite looking so pigmented here, true to its name, it really is kind of this gel consistency. So you shear it out, and it's almost like a lip gloss, but not like even a cruddy lip gloss. Has some, I don't know what this is supposed to be. It doesn't really ever dry down completely. It's just this like kind of wet texture. It was very weird and hard to layer, kind of streaky. You'd pat it out, but then when you were trying to pat and blend, all the pigment would disappear, and even some of the sparkle, which if you look in this little preview thing right here, it looks like it's going to be super pigmented and gorgeous and sparkly, and it just comes off as this. Yeah, not great. And for 25 bucks, would not recommend. Like, it's just, maybe I'm using them improperly, but it's just, I don't know. I do not know. So yeah, basically wouldn't recommend that. But beyond that, guys, those are all of my hits and misses for 2015. I'd love to hear what products you guys have been loving or maybe not loving so much in the comments below. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.